Um, hey everyone, I wanted to come online to talk a little bit about something that I haven't really discussed much on my YouTube channel so far. As folks saw my last video, I'm really concerned with what's going on and has been going on in Gaza for decades now, but especially the last almost 4 years with the siege that Israel has imposed to goods coming in and folks being able to move around in and out of Gaza. Um, I went to a protest yesterday in Montreal, which was a really, truly empowering experience to be among what looked like. I couldn't tell because I really could not see one end or the other of the protest. Thousands of people of all ages, from kids to the elderly, from white folks to Arab folks and black people and brown people. Like, it was just amazing to see a truly, truly diverse community of predominantly Canadians, obviously, come together to voice their disapproval of what is going on, and also calling into action their own government to say something and impose boycotts, divestment, and sanctions on Israel. Um, but didn't necessarily want to talk too much about that specifically, but rather a different aspect of it. I've been really disappointed and dismayed by the lack of Armenian outrage out there in terms of what is going on. There isn't a national or diaspora Armenian voice, be it as leaders of the Armenian community coming out to speak as representatives, or any of our organizations in the diaspora, or Armenia as a country coming out and saying anything. There's international outcry from all over the place, from some of the richest countries to some of the poorest countries. So I'm not really buying the excuse of, well, Armenia's got a lot to worry about. Armenia does have a lot to worry about and is a struggling nation in all kinds of ways. But I'm also not hearing anything from diaspora Armenians, and most diaspora Armenians are not exactly living a life of hardship, and can afford to come out and speak in the name of justice. I'm particularly, I guess, dismayed about this because of our own history, because of all the efforts and grassroots activism that has gone on since the Armenian genocide to get recognition for it, to have our own voices heard, and to have our own justice um, given to us, and to watch as other genocides go on, and whether it's this one in Gaza and the West Bank, or Rwanda, and Armenians not coming out and saying anything is hypocritical at best. And not to say that there aren't individual Armenians who are doing amazing, amazing work on their own time and as activists themselves, and bringing voice to these issues. But I would really like to see the community as a whole give voice to this, and organizations themselves give voice to this, as examples of what goes on when genocides do not get recognized, when people are and nations are not held to account to these genocides. They happen again and again and again. So when we're wearing bracelets or signs, or anything that say never again, but then when it does happen again, we don't speak to it. It's absolutely hypocritical. Um, there's also a little bit of a discussion online about the merits of what is going on to our cause. Um, and I say that statement in all sarcasm. Um, there's discussion that now that Turkey has taken such a strong stance against the Israeli blockade of Gaza, that we will come to benefit from it. That because Turkey and Israel have become alienated as allies, that either Israel will begin to recognize the Armenian genocide itself, which is highly, highly doubtful, or at the very least, it will stop putting pressure on the U.S. government to not recognize it. Um, I think this mentality and this thought process of just kind of letting Israel and Turkey hammer it out amongst themselves to the benefit of quote unquote our cause is disgusting. Um, I think when it comes to putting the recognition of our ancestors' murders, and also our surviving ancestors, to have their memory be played off as a pawn, in this political game of, let's see these two dogs of Israel and Turkey fight it out, and whoever survives, it's, one way or another, there's some sort of benefit to us. It's gross. It's absolutely gross, because that's playing Palestinian lives as pawns in that conversation. Unless we forget that there is an Armenian community in Palestine, that there are a lot of Palestinian Armenians who've suffered themselves and are refugees themselves. So we are toying with our own people, as well as the Palestinian people who have been among the nations that have helped us survive as genocide survivors. Arab people have been absolutely our best allies when it comes to that. Countries like Lebanon and Syria and Iraq and Palestine have welcomed us with open arms and helped us not only survive but thrive in their countries. And for us to turn our backs to them in this way is deplorable. So I call to action other Armenians who believe in our cause, to speak up for justice, because this is the time to do it. We have to come together as nations. It does not matter which nation is at the forefront of this cause. If it is Turkey, then let it be Turkey. We have to play our part in it. We are also responsible for this. And in the end, if it highlights Turkey's hypocrisy, then it can highlight Turkey's hypocrisy. We have to come. We have to come to action, too. Otherwise, we ourselves are the hypocrites. That's all I wanted to say today. And that I'm sitting with a very heavy heart when it comes to this issue, and seeking solidarity within my own community. But I've found a lot of solidarity within other communities, and I appreciate that a lot. And I hope that this disaster, this PR disaster for Israel, comes to having some positive implications for what is going on in the Middle East, and finally gets the international community and the U.S. in particular to really do something about it. Thanks.